Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Jacqueline with New Moon Oracle, and I'm here to help you navigate the narcissistic, abusive person in your life. So one thing that I did when I was trying to break ties with my mother, who was just very controlling and very anxiety driven, before I was supposed to get together with her, I would literally get sick to my stomach. I would be trying to think of things that I could use as an excuse to leave early. And one of the things that really got me through that whole process was learning to set a boundary, which narcissists hate, by the way, and to stay firm with that boundary. In the past, what I would do is if somebody put blame on me, for example, my mother would say, "You never come and visit me." Then I would show up with a calendar where I marked off all the dates where I visited her and proved my point. And she would say, well, blah, blah, blah. And I stopped doing that. And that's when I realized I was getting my power back, and I was actually getting somewhere with disconnecting myself from that person. And so I want to give you a tip on this. So a boundary, of course, is setting your limits for something. But it isn't controlling the narcissist, because guess what? You'll never control the narcissist. Never. So, and you shouldn't control anyone, right? And you don't want to be controlled. That's what the narcissist is doing to you. But a boundary is simply saying, this is what I will tolerate. And if you continue to do this to me, there is a ramification for it. An example would be, Mom, if every time that I come to your house, you start telling me that I don't spend enough time with you, that I don't visit enough, that I don't care, whatever it is, then I'm not going to come visit anymore. Next time you ask me to come out here, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I'm not coming. And that really made her angry. She didn't like having a boundary put on her control and manipulation. And so she acted like I expected her to. She got angry and huffed around and then said, you might as well just go home. And so I did. And she did the silent treatment, which narcissists do. And she didn't call me for the longest time. She didn't text me. She didn't reach out. But then she did what narcissists also always do, is they give it some time, hoping you'll forget what happened. And then she called me for lunch. Well, wouldn't you know, we're sitting in a restaurant with people all around us, and she started. I didn't call you for like 3 weeks, and you didn't even bother to call me. You didn't text me. She started again. And so I listened. I let her finish. I was putting my food in my to-go. I closed it up. I slipped her a $20 bill, and I said, here you go for lunch. I asked you not to do this, and you're doing it again. And I'm gone. And I got in my car, and I left. And that was the beginning of taking my power back. That was the beginning of her realizing that her manipulation was being noticed. Her manipulation was being thwarted, and her manipulation was not going to work on me anymore. Now, was this the end of her behavior? No. I actually had to go no contact with her about a year later. But it's a process, and you have got to be able to function in this world with these type of people in your life. So next time somebody really puts you in a corner, I would suggest you do these things. Set the boundary and make sure that it's something that you can actually do. If you can't remove yourself from a situation, don't say that I'm going to remove myself from a situation next time you do it. But what you can say is, if you're going to argue with me, we're done talking. I will only have conversations with you where you do not scream and yell at me. And if you can't do that, then I will walk away from the conversation. Remember to be polite. Anytime that you get agitated or upset, that's only going to make the situation worse. A narcissist can't argue with you if you simply say, I am not tolerating this. The second thing I would say too is then hold that boundary. If they start screaming at you, then remove yourself from the situation and remind them why. Tell them, I told you if you were screaming at me, I'm going to walk away from this conversation. Now, I do want to put a little caveat in here. For those of you that are having physical, violent abuse, this is not a good idea. I'm talking about the narcissists that are neglectful narcissists. Those are the ones that manipulate and use silent treatment, and it's all verbal and emotional abuse. If somebody's being physically abusive, this could actually cause you some harm. So I just want to give you a little tip there.